Paleolithic mean? Who can go and give me a me in the chat and tell me what does Paleolithic mean? All right, give it to me, Nicholas. Paleolithic means what, sir?
New Stone Age.
Does not mean New Stone Age. You are close. Paleolithic means what, Nicholas? Oh, you don't have to have your camera on, for it, so you can just keep it off. But Paleolithic is what?
Old Stone Age.
Old Stone Age. Good. We got our Old Stone Age. You can now tell me Neolithic. All right. Turn off the camera there, Nick. Turn it off. Mariah, Neolithic is what?
New Stone Age.
New Stone Age. Technically just means new stone and old stone, but we're going to go with the ages because it's just easier to do it that way. All right. Next thing we have, where did people live? Where did people live? Caleb, and the Old Stone Age. People lived in? Come on, Seabone. Where do people live in? Ah, man, I call on him and he just leaves even after he said me? How rude. Madeline Kate.
What was the question again?
Where did people live in the Paleolithic period?
In caves or under trees in tents.
Very good. Very good. Oh, very good. All right, so Danielle, where do people live in our Neolithic age? Avery, Pierre, unbelievable. Villages and towns.
Yeah.
But inside, what, Danielle?
But they lived inside like houses. Like
Yeah.
they actually made houses out of like
Exactly, houses.
and stone.
Very, very good. All right. How did people get food in our Paleolithic period Karachi?
They got food from hunting and gathering.
And I'm totally teasing you, Caleb. Don't worry. But you are going to answer this next part. Ha ha ha. Mean Mr. Kenny. How did people get food in the Neolithic age, Caleb? Ha ha ha.
They got food by farming and getting like stuff from animals.
The farming. What is that thing when you like get stuff from animals because they're useful to you? There's a D word we use for that.
Domestication.
Domesticated animals. Domesticated animals. But there's more too. What else were they doing to get food, Avery?
They either hunted them or lured them.
And the last one for food there, Madeline Kate.
They planted things.
That's farming. So they farmed, they used domesticated animals, they hunted, and they... Aaron.
They traded.
Okay, I'm going to add trade too. And they also did what? And I do agree, we need to have the chat be a little less cray-cray. Don, you're missing a big one. Think about anyone who's gone to a strawberry patch, an apple orchard. What are you doing? You are... Ashlyn, save the day.
Gathering and picking?
Yeah, gathering. So they don't stop hunting and gathering. They don't. But they mostly get their food from farming domesticated animals. All right. How did they use animals in the Paleolithic age? This one's a little tougher. This one's going to get your brains thinking, yes, how did they use animals in the Paleolithic period? I've heard lots from Karachi. Oh, I've heard lots from... I haven't heard from Mariah in a while, I guess. So, Mariah?
They use them by like getting milk from them and like use them to help with like the millstone and stuff.
Okay, so that's actually going to be for our Neolithic time. So I'm going to move it over there. So they use them for work, which is our fancy word domestication. They're also going to eat them. How rude, right? What about in our Paleolithic time, though? How do they use the animals, Ashlyn?
They hunted and ate them.
Hunted them. And ate them. Sehr gut. And then we have, how did people live together in our Paleolithic period? How did they live together? There are these things. It starts with a T, I believe. And they were like no exciteds or something like that. Ashlyn, darling?
They lived in groups and they were nomads.
Yes. Lived in small groups called tribes and were nomads. Great, great, great. And then finally, our last thing. How about in our Neolithic time? How about in our Neolithic time? Danielle?
In the Neolithic times, they just lived in like kind of like more. They lived in bigger groups than in the Paleolithic times because there were villages then.
Yes. Very good. Very good. Now, of course, I like to always add pictures. So I'm going to be like, all right, so they lived in caves. So let's go add like a little cave here. So I've got my little cave. Boop, 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 boop. And then like, let's see, we've got hunting and gathering. I'm not going to finish this whole thing with it, but you know, just giving you an idea of how I would like to do this sort of thing. Now, Mr. Kenny, Mr. Kenny's class, we have an assignment, and it's going to be very similar to this organizer that we just made here. So we have gone and started this organizer. It's muy bonita. It's really good. But you all have the Neolithic Revolution comic. Now, we're going to be working on this today and tomorrow. And what you're going to be doing is you are basically creating a slide for each of these sections. Now, if you want to split it up and have this be 2 slides instead of just 1 slide, you can. But you're going to answer, how do people get food? And then you're going to put a picture. And where do people live? Get a picture. So you're going to make a little slide. Now, if you want, you can draw something like we saw yesterday. You can, it's actually right there. If you want to make this Coolio thing, that is great. I love it. In class, that's typically what we make something more like this, but it's just, I couldn't figure out a way to do it online. So if you think of a cool way to do it, that'd be amazing. But you are going to make your little comic strip. Now, you can make this on Google Slides, or you can draw it by hand and take a picture and send it to me. But we are going to be doing that for our assignment. So that's what the plan is going to be for it. So no questions this day. It's making this cool thing for moi. All right. So do we have any questions or comments?
Yeah.
And you can turn your mics on or your cameras on because I'm stopping recording now.